Welcome to River City Folk. I'm your host, Tom May. My guest this week is Chuck Pyle from Colorado with his songs that paint a picture of the Western landscape and her people. Thanks for joining us.
I came as a young man, a refugee from the plains. Looking for higher ground, where the sun shines through the rains. Where the mountain folks and the old cowpokes had found peace of mind. I guess loving Mother Nature makes you naturally kind. Colorado, everywhere I go, I'm in your shadow. You're calling to me, Colorado. The sun's melting the snow, making the river flow to the sea. Say goodbye to Denver, out across the divide. Last day of September, a fine day for a ride. It's a Buena Vista morning, a Durango afternoon. Round a Mesa Verde campfire, I'll be humming this tune. Colorado, everywhere I go, I'm in your shadow. You're calling to me, Colorado. The sun's melting the snow, making the river flow to the sea. There's a warm winter sun in the window of your car. Now do you know where you are? Colorado, everywhere I go, I'm in your shadow. You're calling to me, Colorado. The sun's melting the snow, making the river flow to the sea.
Chuck, good to hear you again and great to see you again. As always, you started us off with that song, a new song of yours called Colorado, but many of your tunes have been recorded and been sung by lots and lots of people around North America since you started performing and writing years ago.
I've had a lot of good luck, and you know, Tom, as well as I do, that a lot of that's being in the right place at the right time. But I always arranged and felt like I liked to arrange songs when I was even young, starting out as a ukulele trio I had when I was about 13 years old. And arranging harmonies and stuff like that, I always had a sense of I wanted things to be clear and simple. And as it just turns out, my songs are more like anthems because they're so simple.
And many of your songs do deal with the West, the American West, of today, the contemporary West, instead of the mythological West that's often sung about. And I know you still travel a great deal from Colorado around this part of the world.
I do, and there's nothing like coming back to Colorado. It's like the center of my energy, for sure. Hemingway said, you know, he couldn't write about a place until he left it, but I had that trouble for a while, and all the rest of my surroundings until I came to Colorado. And the song that in question, the first one I did, is going to be on a TV special on Channel 6, PBS, in Denver, starting in September. And it's sort of a Zen Western magazine of what Colorado life is like. And I got picked to write the music for it.
Well, this is sort of an all-encompassing song about the West, and it reminds me of so many landscapes that I've seen while driving to gigs, and I love this tune of yours. Title song of your most recent CD.
Oh yeah, Endless Sky. Born on a rainy night, raised in the blowing wind, waiting for a ride on the next storm blowing in. For the cows I never cared, it was riding that got me there. That and coffee at dawn, out under the blue frontier. Give me a fence to mend and the river bend, and a dry night under the stars. The harmonica, moon, the coyote tune, played on a saddle guitar. Oh, I've settled down at the edge of town. I remember my lonesome eyes, seeing the freedom of the tumbleweed, the spirit of the endless sky. Traded in my working spurs for life of his and hers. Oh, she's one of a kind, Lord, I know I'm one lucky guy. Besides, nothing's quite the same. Cowboying's gotten too tame, and the roof of a pickup takes up too much of the sky. Give me a fence to mend and the river bend, and a dry night under the stars. A harmonica, moon, a coyote tune, played on a saddle guitar. Oh, I've settled down at the edge of town. I remember my lonesome eyes, seeing the freedom of the tumbleweed, the spirit of the endless sky. Out there my heart is speaking so loud and clear, but here it's only a whisper, it's so hard to hear. Give me a fence to mend and a river bend, and a dry night under the stars. The harmonica, moon, the coyote tune, played on a saddle guitar. Oh, I've settled down at the edge of town. I remember my lonesome eyes, seeing the freedom of the tumbleweed, the spirit of the endless sky.
Chuck Pyle, that song of yours has kept me company on many western highways, but I've always wondered what a saddle guitar is.
Tom, funny you would ask. I was just thinking about that the other day. So, lots of people have asked, what the heck is a saddle guitar? And I meant simply that it was like one that was beat up enough that it would be okay to take on a horse if he threw you.
Well, now I know. Now I know. I've always scratched my head at that one. Well, this is a tune about changes in the West. You've seen a lot of them in the years you've been traveling.
Oh, boy.
As have I. And this is a song about people who have had the chance to see those changes. It's a tune written by an old friend of mine up in Alberta that you know as well, a song by Ian Tyson. It's called 50 Years Ago. If I could roll back the years, back when I was young and limber, loose as ashes in the wind, I had no irons in the fire. I could ride them wild young broncos, the adrenaline came quickly, and Juanita down at Mona's was my only heart's desire. We were living for the moment, and the sunlight on my silver bits, the ringing of my jingle bobs was the music of my soul. In the alley back of Mona's, I held Juanita. In the shadows, how we held on to each other and the loving that we stole. And the sighing of the pines up here near the timberline makes me wish I'd done things different. Oh, but wishing don't make it so. Oh, the time has passed so quick, the years all run together now. Did I hold Juanita yesterday, or was it 50 years ago? Would have quit them Broncos, she might have quit that business, but that was back in the fast days, before the barbed wire. Bet I could still find her, and I bet she's still as pretty as when she's Juanita down at Mona's, and my only heart's desire. And the sighing of the pines up here near the timberline makes me wish I'd done things different. Ah, but wishing don't make it so. Oh, the time has passed so quick, the years all run together now. Did I hold Juanita yesterday, or was it 50 years ago?
Tom May, you did it. You did it. That song is a great song. You know, I always love it when somebody takes a song that I've heard before, because I've heard the album that's from, and pick it out as their own and make me hear it again all anew. Thank you.
Well, my pleasure, Chuck. That song means a lot to me. I can just envision this rancher in Sheridan, Wyoming, who's inhabiting that particular tune.
I can too.
You've got a really unique style that's all your own on the guitar, and I know it's pretty difficult to capsulize a lifetime of developing a guitar style like yours into a few words. But if you could tell us just a little bit about how you get the unique sound off the strings that you do with your tunes.
I think that the biggest key to my style is the dampening of the bass string. And I know other people do that. And the way we all do it individually gives us kind of our rhythmic style. Mm-hmm. And then it's where I put my meter of my voice, since there's only two instruments, guitar and vocal, it's where I put the meter of my voice over that rhythm that really counts for a lot. And then, of course, that Rocky Mountain slam picking style of mine.
And then you use some unusual inversions of chords as well, which adds to the interest of your arrangements for your songs. It's
you, Tom.
Really delightful to hear.
Thank you.
You've got a new tune for us now that I've just heard today for the first time, and I've been on the street in Denver that you're singing about many times.
Well, then if you ventured a little farther north from the Magic Pan and where all those cutesy little shops have been built, you know that it's still Larimer Street.
Still is.
Lots of pawn shops. Just a bottle of Thunderbird, it don't go so very far. Need a little something more to pick up the beat. Raspberry, it's your favorite color. A jukebox in a jar. Music to lighten this cowboy's feet. He'll be doing the breadline waltz for a cup of stew. Wondering if Urban Renewal is gonna renew him too. Broken down and busted up, his rodeo life is through. It's a Denver rescue mission to the rescue. Oh, a cowboy bum looks for some jukebox for his beat. Everybody's down on Larimer Street. Future tense, it don't make any sense. He says that's okay by me. I just pawned my watch on Larimer Street. It's a quarter pack of Kool-Aid is all it's gonna take to make that bottle of wine standing tall. Put it in that green jar, it'll cure a heartache. And call yourself that king of the sidewalk. Oh, a cowboy bum looks for some jukebox for his beat. Everybody's down on Larimer Street. The future tense don't make any sense. He says that's okay by me. I just pawned my watch on Larimer Street. My new address is Larimer Street. The IRS won't find me.
Chuck, you call Boulder, Colorado home, which has also been called the New Age capital of the U.S. And I believe that's what inspired this next tune of yours.
As well as my own personal stumblings along my path too, you know, Tom. I mean, when you think about it, Boulder just has all these educated people and about 3,500 different kinds of spiritual followings, so it would make sense that we would have one of the finest talk show radio therapists with the highest share rating that had ever been on the airwaves. And she went off the air, we were all so sad. It was like our meeting every day, you know. So I wrote this song to her. Well, I woke up this other morning to this meeting in my head. My ego had formed a terrorist group, and I knew what lie I had. There'd be death threats on my confidence, extortions of my heart, and I'd have to remain in control so as not to fall apart. So I called my new age girlfriend up. She'd self-helped herself for years, and I asked her how to overcome all my unrest and inner fears. But she said that force would drive it deeper. I needed to love my fear away. And she sounded so together, though I was kind of ashamed of being afraid. So I called my local talk show radio therapist of the air. She told me to write myself little love notes and paste them up everywhere. She said it was not good to be ashamed, that I should get therapy or meditate. And right then I realized I felt guilty, that I was ashamed of being afraid. She said, thanks for sharing, put me on hold. Before I could tell her to quit calling me Sharon. I got off the line, because of course I knew she was tracing the call. So I said, I know I'm in there. I walked over to this mirror to see if I don't come out with my hands up. I said, I'm coming in after me. I know my inner child is enraged, but all my outer man can say is that I'm angry, that I feel guilty, that I'm ashamed of being afraid. Well, and right about then, my committee kicked in, and there it was in the streets of Boulder, Colorado, the cosmic center of the known self-help universe. And I was not being totally present. Now, I can get busted there for that, so I ran home, turned off the phone, and changed the machine to, "Hi, this is Chuck, and your call means a lot to me. If I should return while I'm gone, please detain me till I get back." So I called this 12-step cowboy friend of mine I thought might maybe know why I'd been so crazed these days, like this psycho desperado. Well, he took me to his support group, and I shared about my rage. They said, everyone's addicted to anger. It's a rage this day and age. I said, you mean I'm addicted to being angry, for feeling guilty, that I'm ashamed of being afraid? He says, yep. I said, well, what happened to keep it simple? He said, easy does it. One day at a time. So God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that just might never change.
Chuck, one of the things I enjoy most about your music is it's very thoughtful music. It appeals to the better angels of people's nature, I think. And this tune is one of my favorites of yours. It's been sung all around the country by folks around campfires and kitchen tables. How'd you happen to write this song, Step by Step?
We were doing a benefit in Boulder for Werner Erhard's World Hunger Program. At that time, he was supporting it with the Goodwill Games. Remember the Goodwill Games? First we had them in Moscow in '86, and then so we sent a contingent from Boulder, and I was on my way to the benefit, and I knew the catchwords were step by step, side by side. So I started to sing those over and over in my head as on the way, and like a good little songwriter, by the time I got there, I had a verse that I repeated over and over and over again. I had one verse and one chorus.
Well, I hope you'll pick up your instrument around the country right now, or just sing along with us on this tune. It's got a wonderful chorus, written by my guest today, Chuck Pyle. It's called Step by Step, and we're going to play it in the key of D. Help us out.
Well, there's an old ancient saying in the wind, one must only take a first step to begin. We're on the way, then we've done the hardest part. Now make your journey with a generous heart. Step by step, side by side, hand in hand, this old world's a better ride. Step by step, side by side, take a little step with your neighbor, side by side. Oh, we've stumbled and we've broken our stride, wearing old worn-out boots of foolish pride. Now we're gonna put on our brand new running shoes to run a race in which no one will really lose. Step by step, side by side, hand in hand, this old world's a better ride. Step by step, side by side, take a little step with your neighbor, side by side. Oh, if you see me falling down and you stop to lend a hand, what goes around comes round, and around now. If you run into another for help, it don't mean that you can't do it for yourself. It just means that your neighbors wanna know that if he needs help, he'll know where to go. Step by step, side by side, hand in hand, this old world's a better ride. Step by step, side by side, take a little step with your neighbor, side by side. Well, if we all understand that the heart's the one true power, yes, and then nothing that we see is really ours. That from a satellite we all just look like one. Now I think our world's time may finally have come. Step by step, side by side, hand in hand, this old world's a better ride. Yes, it is. Step by step, step by step, side by side, side by side. Take a little step with your neighbor. Take a little step with your neighbor. Take a little step with your neighbor, side by side.
Chuck, thanks so much for coming and sharing that tune with us.
Boy, Tom, sure was great to be back on your show again. Thanks.
Thank you for helping us out on Step by Step. I'm your host, Tom May, and I hope you'll join me again next week for River City Folk.